Right now, Dane County's medical examiner has publicly identified the man shot and killed by a deputy Thursday night in Windsor. Also, a deputy in Mazomanie firefighter rescues a homeowner from a weekend house fire.
And although we're starting off with a slightly slower winds, the winds are going to start picking up today. I'll track down how strong they'll get today and how even stronger they'll get tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. Greg, looks like a little bit of a sunrise coming up.
Yeah, the sunrise is coming up right now, but we got the winds going to start increasing too, and the cloud cover will start increasing also, so we have a little bit of break right now. But the cold front has pushed south, and then the winds are starting to pick up behind this right now. Right now, 10 to 15 as you go further north, west of La Crosse. That's just the start of it. We'll start seeing winds actually more. Overall, that has kept the temperatures up a little bit. We're starting off into the mid-40s, upper 30s in some locations, but compared to yesterday, it is warmer, but we're not going to get as warm as tomorrow. Precipitation right now, we've seen a few spotty showers here and there. Most of the stuff is up to the north. We will see more of that this afternoon. Future track will show that here. A few showers will start popping up west of La Crosse and then either further to the Madison area this afternoon. So right now, 42 degrees. Winds haven't started picking up yet down here. We just turned the winds around to the north and we'll climb up to about 47 by this afternoon. The winds will pick up. We're looking at about 10 to 15 miles per hour the west-northwest with some higher gusts. Same story, La Crosse. They've actually started to see the winds pick up now. We're up to 12 miles per hour. Same story there. We'll see 15 to 20 miles. And you see yesterday's highs, we actually got up to a few 60s, but today we're going to struggle to get to the mid-40s, even low 40s, and that's just the start because tomorrow it's going to be colder with stronger winds, and I'll break that down a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, thanks, Greg. A Dane County deputy is recovering in the hospital after running into a burning Mazomanie home early Saturday morning to rescue the homeowner. It was after 5 a.m. when the house on County Highway Y caught fire. When deputies arrived, they say the homeowner ran back inside to retrieve some items. And one of the deputies chased after him and was able to get that homeowner out. The house, meanwhile, is considered to be a total loss. Both deputies were taken to the hospital for an evaluation, but we have no update on how they're doing this morning. The man shot and killed by a Dane County Sheriff's deputy Thursday night has been officially identified as 46-year-old Quantaze Campbell. The Dane County medical examiner making that identification Saturday morning. Now, the incident in reference happened Thursday night outside a Super 8 motel in Windsor. Now, right now, a lot is still unknown about what exactly happened prior to the shooting. We spoke with Campbell's family Friday night, who say they're looking for answers. His daughter tells us she wants the public to know what a great father Campbell was.
That was the biggest thing when it came to this. We just didn't want him to be portrayed as something that he wasn't. So we just want to paint a picture, like, just to let everybody know that he was a family man, a loving man.
Court records do show the 46-year-old had a warrant issued about 3 weeks ago for failure to appear in a pending felony criminal case. Filings show he's accused of helping steal several $1,000s worth of copper coils from UW Hospital. The Department of Justice is investigating this incident. In California, a suspected serial killer is in police custody this morning after he was arrested early Saturday. Police say 43-year-old Wesley Brownlee is behind a string of killings that began in July, and they believe they captured him while he was hunting for another victim. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more.
Stockton, California police say this is the suspected serial killer who has had an entire city frozen in fear. Wesley Brownlee was arrested just after 2 a.m. Saturday near his Stockton home. Police say he was dressed in black with a mask around his neck and armed with a gun.
Our surveillance team followed this person while he was driving. We watched his patterns and determined early this morning he was on a mission to kill. He was out hunting.
Police say tips from the public helped them find him. Last week, they released this grainy video of the suspect who they believe is responsible for the deaths of 6 victims, 5 killed in Stockton since July, and another killing in 2021, 70 miles away in Oakland. Police say the crimes are connected by ballistics and video evidence, and they believe this arrest may have prevented more.
We are sure we stopped another killing.
Most of the victims were Hispanic men. Some were homeless. All were ambushed and shot, but not robbed. The last victim, Lorenzo Lopez, was gunned down in this neighborhood in late September. Overnight, residents there expressed relief.
I'm glad he's been caught.
Yeah,
yeah, it makes me feel a whole lot better.
Authorities have not identified a motive. They say Brownlee does have a criminal history. He will be arraigned in court on Tuesday and is expected to face murder charges. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Still ahead, fall-themed fun for the whole family this weekend in Sun Prairie. We'll show you how the town teamed up with local businesses for a fun afternoon of shopping. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Greg's tracking your forecast just ahead on Weekend Mornings.
Join us at the Madison Fall Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns. Visit and get inspired for your 2023 building and remodeling projects. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything, like your future in-laws?
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kitties like her.
Oh, can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
Denver Mattress has always believed in investing right here with American-made mattresses built with unrivaled quality and sold at factory direct prices. Because improving your sleep life should always be easy and affordable. And during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or save $300 on Tempur-Breeze and LuxAdapt mattresses and get a $300 gift. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
With Choice Hotels, there's always a reason to book it. Whatever your reason, save 20% when you stay 2 or more nights at participating locations. Book direct at choicehotels.com. Terms and conditions apply.
There's something new from Better Than Bouillon. Introducing the Culinary Collection. Chef-created flavor combinations like smoky chipotle and Italian herb that add a little something special to your family favorites. But don't take our word for it. The Culinary Collection from Better Than Bouillon.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Mara.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Yeah, we're still stuck in this pattern with actually the airflow all the way from northern Canada. Right now, you see, today we're going to deal with another cold air mass that's going to basically start all the way from northern Canada, going to dive south. This one is going to provide probably the coldest temperatures we've had. But over time, we're going to start seeing the influences of this pattern start to change. As you see the wind flow and the ridge out to the west, where they've actually had some really warm to even hot conditions, it's going to start to push further east. So over time this week, we're going to start seeing that being pulled eastward, so we will be modifying as we get through the end of this week. So that's kind of the thing. You can see by Friday, Saturday, we're actually more mild. The cold air is the back lock to the north. So if we look at this big picture and kind of zoom in, today we do have the cloud cover with a few showers behind that cold front. The winds will start picking out of the northwest. The showers will be primarily to the north-northeast. We'll start seeing a little bit of clear skies tonight, and then tomorrow we have another shot coming down, which will actually increase the winds out of the north, but actually provide the UP quite a bit of lake effect snow. And then obviously we'll have much colder conditions even tomorrow compared to yesterday. That influences continues tomorrow afternoon with a few showers. Then we'll see the influences start to wane once we get past Tuesday, but still that northerly flow continues, so temperatures won't really climb too much until we get to like Wednesday or even Thursday. For today, we're not going to climb much more than mid to upper 40s, a few showers here and there. with a northwest wind starting to increase 10 to 20. Temperatures, once again, just mid to upper 40s. By the time we get to the evening, a little break in the cloud cover, but still, we'll see a few showers overall. Temperatures will then drop further tonight. We'll probably get down more into the upper 20s as you wake up tomorrow, even mid-20s, and then more up near freezing as you get towards where the cloud cover kind of exists. Tomorrow, the temperatures then will not even struggle maybe to get up to 40 as the winds turn more northerly. Another cold air mass comes, and a few showers more chance seeing maybe snow showers than sort of rain showers with the cold temperatures. Temperatures 38, 38. You can see mid-30s. Some areas might even barely get above freezing. The winds will be the story today and tonight, but then tomorrow it's when we start seeing gusts approaching over 30 miles per hour, maybe even 40 in certain areas, especially in eastern Wisconsin. So it'll be quite breezy, cold, just downright chilly tomorrow. And then we'll start seeing winds subside a little bit by Tuesday, but still breezy. So we're just not going to be in this pattern for a while. Eventually, by the time we get to Wednesday, you can see we'll start climbing back in the mid-40s, drier conditions. And yes, we turn that temperature around and we may approach 70 in La Crosse by Sunday with a system approaching. But the winds will start picking out of the southwest. Same story with Madison. Once we get past Monday, hopefully we'll start to see an improvement there, 50s. And then 60s, and yeah, mid-60s by next weekend, and then the rain chances start coming in because there is a system approaching by the weekend. But we are going to warm back up.
At least we avoid the rain for now, and then the chance of warming up makes it a little easier to get through this cold.
It's a little easier. Like I said, we're still in October, so 70s possible, 60s are still possible. So we're still there, but we got to get through the next couple days. It will feel really cold tomorrow.
After being in Eau Claire for 2 years, I love southern Wisconsin. It's so nice hearing that 70s are possible.
It's possible.
I'll take it. I'm glad. All right, thanks, Greg. Families could get outside yesterday to enjoy Saturday's warmer weather by visiting the 16th annual Sun Prairie Fall Festival. Put on by Sun Prairie's Business Improvement District. The group teamed up with local businesses for live music, craft vendors, and hot eats and treats. It was all alongside checking out some of Sun Prairie's very best businesses. The event was meant to offer fall-themed fun and entertainment for residents and visitors. And a record-breaking night in Whitewater on Friday, where nearly 19,000 people saw the UW Whitewater Warhawks defeat the UW Oshkosh Titans 17-3. The exact attendance, 18,951 fans. That sets a new Division III football attendance record for a game played on a university campus. It was the fourth highest attendance for a D3 game of all time, but the top 3 games were all played at neutral sites. The morning's top stories are just ahead on Weekend Mornings. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is now hiring experienced plumbers. Come work for a Family First award-winning company and enjoy union pay and benefits. Apply online today. Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, your trusted partner since 1977.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Qualified lessees can use $1,000 engine lease cash to get this Silverado for around $449 a month, or get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member. Oh yes, certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint, for certain.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is now hiring experienced plumbers. Come work for a family-first award-winning company and enjoy union pay and benefits. Apply online today. Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, your trusted partner since 1977.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, we're going to see a few more showers today. They're already starting to pop up on radar, and that'll be kind of the trend we'll see today as we go through. Some showers, mainly just rain showers. Most of the snow stuff will stay well to the north, but as we see future casts, you can kind of see it'll start to populate a little bit more this afternoon, too. But overall, very light amounts. More like cloud cover will be the big story. Obviously, the winds, too. Right now, temperatures overall warmer than they were yesterday. We're all above freezing, mainly in the 40s, but we won't budge much more than that. Low to mid 40s, maybe some upper 40s, but much cooler than we were yesterday. Winds will be the other story we'll see. Winds 10 to 15 in La Crosse, maybe gusting even higher. Same story with Madison, too. Winds will also start turning around to the northwest and increasing with a few showers here and there, but overall just a colder day than what we had yesterday. So that's the bottom line today. Tomorrow, it's even colder, even more winds, a few more showers. The chilly conditions last through Wednesday, but there is a warm-up by the end of the week where 60s and maybe a 70 will be in store.
All right, thanks, Greg. Across the U.S. in Lee County, Florida, 3 badly damaged school districts are still closed weeks after Hurricane Ian passed through the state. The county was one of the hardest hit areas by the monster storm. And as Renee Marsh explains, this is just one example of how the climate crisis is impacting education.
My goodness gracious. Melissa Wright sees the destruction at her 10-year-old son Zane's school for the first time.
That's the sign he stands in for the first day of school every year.
Fort Myers Beach Elementary is 1 block from the ocean. Hurricane Ian's powerful winds tore down walls, and its storm surge approached the top of the school doors, destroying nearly everything inside.
Losing that school is... it's probably what I've cried about the most.
It's been more than 2 weeks, and the entire Lee County School District remains shut down.
We do have schools that remain in a high needs category, suffering significant damage.
He already said this year was tougher for him than most, so I am worried about him falling behind.
Lee County schools are emblematic of a growing trend, the climate crisis disrupting school systems nationwide for months and in some cases years. In California, wildfires have been the leading cause of school closures. From 2018 to 2019, a record 2,295 schools closed. Last year in Louisiana, Hurricane Ida, a devastating Category 4 storm, ripped off roofs and destroyed schools. More than a year later, 2 schools for close to 900 students are still inoperable. And in Tennessee, 17 inches of rain fell in 24 hours, flooding Waverly Elementary and junior high school. More than a year later, some students are using an auditorium with partitions for classrooms. A government study found that since 2017, more than 300 presidentially declared major disasters have occurred across all 50 states and U.S. territories, with devastating effects on K-12 schools, including trauma and mental health issues, lost instructional time, and financial strain, something Waverly, Tennessee schools know well. After the flood there, students' test scores lagged behind the rest of the state.
Some of our staff and teachers lost their homes, they lost their loved ones, they lost, and their classrooms. So mentally wise, that has put a toll on them.
As schools struggle to recuperate from extreme weather, experts say they must better understand their future risk and rebuild more resilient structures.
Our public schools right now, they received a D+ on America's Infrastructure Report Card.
Wow. Until then, when extreme weather strikes, all that is lost will undoubtedly also include quality instructional time in school.
According to a new poll from the Yale program on climate change communication, a majority of Americans now believe the U.S. is facing the consequences of a warming world. There's still a half hour of news ahead here on Weekend Mornings. Next, we're running through the day's top stories. We'll be right back.
It's A1 Furniture's anniversary sale with up to 43% off store-wide and 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original window. Boom.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
At Associated Physicians, we think it's time for you to redirect and start thinking about you. Who's with us? Our OBGYN team is here and they are ready. We know you, as always, are taking care of everyone and everything. And our OBGYN team has just one focus: you. Schedule your routine wellness exam today. Call us at 608-233-9746. Associated Physicians. Visit us at apmadison.com.
Don't miss A1 Furniture's anniversary sale. Save up to 43% off name brand mattresses and get 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
This feels like destiny, child. Miss Kelly Rowland! Can you do an impression of another musician? I can't get it. I'm gonna get the giggles.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
And then at 4, we'll head to the movies with our film critic, Will Loper.
We'll find out what he thinks of Halloween Ends and the other new releases on screens big and small.
On the next Live at 4.
Right now, a nationwide campaign is underway with the goal of getting more low-income earners registered to vote. And with the midterm election just weeks away, we take a look at the contentious Senate race underway in Georgia.
And although it is warmer outside than we were yesterday, don't let that fool you. We're actually seeing colder conditions today and even colder tomorrow. I'll track down what those temperatures look like.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. I'm McKenna Alexander. Greg, a little bit colder out there today. That's a lot colder out.
It's starting off not bad, but it's not going to go much more than what it is right now. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed yesterday because today is going to be a little bit vastly different. Right now, we are starting out warmer, 7 to 10 degrees overall, but that just kind of fools you because we did have cloud cover and a little bit of wind. Right now, cloud cover continues to increase, but temperatures are not going to climb much more than they were today with the behind that front that is actually to the south of us now to be the winds. Right now, it's temperatures mid-40s in some certain locations, upper 30s, so it is actually warmer, but still not much. We have some showers that are starting to develop, but further to the north. We'll see more of that as we go through the later today and even into the afternoon. Spotty showers left and right, but that won't be the big story. See futurecast with a few showers here and there. The bigger story will be the winds. There's yesterday's temps, so we actually did hit 64 in La Crosse, 54 here, so that's good, but notice the drop today. It's about another 10 to 15 degree drop, so mid to upper 40s, even some low 40s to go further into Iowa and Minnesota. So that's what the difference we're going to see today. So 42 right now, dew point 35. Our temperatures are not going to climb much more than that today. The winds will pick up out of the west, northwest, 10 to 15. A few showers here and there, mostly north. Same story La Crosse. We're not going to see much of a climb from that temperature right now. In fact, really little of a climb. With the winds will be the noticeable difference of 15 to 20 miles per hour with a shower or two. But that's not just one. We'll have another system dive south tomorrow, and that's even colder.
What a way to start the week.
Yeah, it's definitely going to feel more like around Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Okay. We haven't even hit Halloween.
Not yet.
All right. That sounds great. Thanks, Greg.
No problem.
Turning now to politics. Early voting in Georgia starts tomorrow, but today Peach State residents are still digesting the results of Friday night's debate. Incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock squared off against Republican challenger Herschel Walker in Savannah. Evan McKend reviews some of the most heated moments from Friday night.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker are in a contentious Georgia Senate race with U.S. Senate control at stake.
It is time to get underway.
The Georgia candidates debated Friday night. Walker, running on a family values platform, currently involved in a scandal over allegedly pressuring the mother of one of his children to get an abortion.
A week before this debate, a former girlfriend made public accusations saying you paid for an abortion and that you encouraged her to have another. In an ABC News interview this week, you said that the accusations are, quote, all lies. For the voters watching tonight, can you explain the circumstances surrounding these claims? You have 60 seconds.
Well, as I said, that's a lie. And, you know, most thing I put it in a book. One thing about my life is I've been very transparent. Not like the senator. He's hid things. But at the same time, I said that's a lie. And on abortion, you know, I'm a Christian. I believe in life. And I tell people this, Georgia is a state that respects life, and I'll be a senator that protects life. And I said that was a lie, and I'm not backing down.
The patient's room is too narrow and small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. We are witnessing right now what happens when politicians, most of them men, pile into patients' rooms. You get what you're seeing right now. And the women of Georgia deserves a senator who will stand with them. I trust women more than I trust politicians.
I heard about him there. I heard he was a neat talker. But did he not mention that there's a baby in that room as well? And also, did he not mention that he asking the taxpayer to pay for it? So he's bringing the government back into the room.
CNN has not independently verified the allegations about Walker.
Herschel, please say a few words.
Walker was given the opportunity to distance himself from the former president on election denial.
Did President Biden defeat former President Donald Trump in 2020?
President Biden won and Senator Warnock won. That's the reason I decided to run. Because we need a change in Washington. We need leaders that's going to stand up to foreign leaders. We need people that's going to stand up for people in Georgia.
On Friday, both candidates said they would accept the results of this election. Walker was also asked about crime and took the opportunity to make a string of claims about Senator Warnock, accusing Warnock of not supporting the police, who gave this rebuttal.
We will see time and time again tonight, as we've already seen, that my opponent has a problem with the truth. And just because he said something doesn't mean it's true. I have supported our police officers. I've called them and I've prayed with their families. You can support police officers, as I've done, through the COPS program, through the Invest to Protect program, while at the same time holding police officers, like all professions, accountable. One thing I have not done, I've never pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
Well, and now I have to respond to that.
We are moving on, gentlemen.
I have to respond to that. And you know what's so funny? I am work with many police officers, and at the same time,
Mr. Walker, Mr. Walker, excuse me, Mr. Walker, please, out of respect, I need to let you know, Mr. Walker, you are very well aware of the rules tonight.
Yes.
And you have a prop.
Yes.
That is not allowed, sir.
Early voting starts Monday in Georgia.
According to the latest polling, the race between Warnock and Walker is too close to call. Under Georgia law, a candidate must get 50% of the vote to avoid a runoff. However, that means if neither candidate reaches that mark, a runoff would be held on December 6th, 4 weeks after the general election. Around the nation and also here in Wisconsin, dozens joined the Poor People's Campaign in marching the streets Saturday. A gathering in Beloit was one of 24 demonstrations across the country this weekend with the group goal of encouraging low-income low-income people to vote, saying the nation needs policies and politicians that center the needs of people that fall under the poor and low-wealth category. Organizers say there are 2.3 million poor and low-income people in Wisconsin, so they're encouraging them to vote, stressing their voices matter and the issues impacting their lives, such as health care, living wages, clean water, and more, are only going to change if they go to the ballot boxes.
For so long, they have felt like they don't matter, like their voices don't matter, their vote doesn't matter, and so they don't vote.
The group also emphasized expanding voting rights, saying tens of thousands of Wisconsinites on parole and probation cannot vote. According to the group, this is an issue that stems back to slavery and one that can only be rectified if low-income people stand up for themselves at the ballots. With the midterm just weeks away, the group's goal is to get 5 million people to the ballot boxes in November. The one and only debate between the two candidates running for governor here in Wisconsin was held right here in our studios on Friday. Governor Tony Evers and challenger Tim Michaels used the opportunity to highlight the differences between them, as our political reporter Will Keneally explains.
Is the tone you'd expect from a governor running for re-election after his first term. He's defending his record for the past 4 years against attacks from challenger Tim Michaels. And that largely played out last night in a race to see who's most radical on issues like abortion.
My opponent is radical on this issue, and frankly, he's radical because it's not consistent with Wisconsin values.
I am pro-life, and I make no apologies for that, but I'll tell you who the real radical is. The real radical is Governor Evers.
Michaels went on to criticize the governor's veto of a so-called Born Alive bill that the legislature sent him this past session. And so that's part of the quirk of politics in Wisconsin. The race isn't really about whether a Democrat or Republican will lead the state. The legislature will remain Republican-controlled for the foreseeable future. So this November's election is about whether Evers retains his veto pen or not. And we also saw the candidates stake claims on gun control, all the more relevant with recent shootings in the news.
A disgruntled ex could say, my ex, who's a hunter, has some weapons at home, and I'm afraid of that. And without due process, those guns could be confiscated. That's unconstitutional.
Responsible gun owners don't have to worry about red flag laws because it'll never be an issue for them.
The two will face each other November 8th. Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Still ahead, we have this morning's health conversation where Dr. Rupa Shah joins us to discuss Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'll be right back on Weekend Mornings.
Hey, Dad, look.
Looks like the perfect spot.
American Family Insurance is here to protect your family on the road with a travel peace of mind package. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
My school does active shooter drills every few months. It's terrifying to think about.
Tim Michaels wants to allow teenagers my age to buy AR-15s with no waiting period.
It's a terrible idea.
It's a really bad idea.
And Michaels wants to allow people to bring loaded guns on our school grounds. And that's just not okay.
I don't want guns in my school.
We shouldn't be making things worse.
Tim Michaels is just way too radical.
He's way too divisive. Tim Michaels is wrong for Wisconsin.
With Choice Hotels, there's always a reason to book it. Whatever your reason, save 20% when you stay 2 or more nights at participating locations. Book direct at choicehotels.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Denver Mattress has always believed in investing right here with American-made mattresses built with unrivaled quality and sold at factory direct prices. Because improving your sleep life should always be easy and affordable. And during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or save $300 on Tempur-Breeze and LuxAdapt mattresses and get a $300 gift. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes.
Certainly.
You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items. Wow.
I love it.
Woohoo! Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint, for certain.
Read my eyes. They tell my story and the story of Voluminous Original, America's #1 mascara. Creamy formula for 5 times the volume. Voluminous Original Mascara by L'Oreal. My eyes are saying you're worth it.
Oh.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Maura.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app.
There's something new from Better Than Bouillon. Introducing the Culinary Collection. Chef-created flavor combinations like smoky chipotle and Italian herb that add a little something special to your family favorites. But don't take our word for it. The Culinary Collection from Better Than Bouillon. Hey, are we gonna fit? There we go.
At American Family Insurance, we're here to carefully protect your dreams.
All right, open your eyes.
Welcome home. Save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance today. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Right now, we're going to see actually colder conditions today. We're only going to expect to get up to about the mid to upper 40s compared to yesterday, where we actually had a few spots actually hit 60 degrees. So if you're out there raking leaves, yesterday was the best day. Today is going to be a little bit breezier and cooler, but especially tomorrow, the winds are going to definitely pick up, and then even winds will continue to Tuesday. The good news, it's still going to be dry. It just will be quite cold outside. Packer game, going to same conditions up there. The winds will start picking up, a shower or two, but overall conditions cloudy and 47, so definitely a change from yesterday too. So lacrosse, you see your temperatures climbing not much up into the mid 40s on our cloud cover. A few showers. Better shot is east of the area. Same story with Madison. A few showers also popping up with the winds and picking up from the northwest, climbing to almost 48 compared to what we were 54 yesterday. It gives you an idea of what's going on there. But that was not what we were going to show. So overall, like I said, it's going to be cloudy, cool today, and even colder tomorrow. But we do have good news. It's going to warm up towards the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Greg. 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence at some point in their lifetime. It's a statistic that's hard to swallow, but important to recognize. As Adam Reif explains, that one Milwaukee brewery is naming one of its latest drinks to raise that critical awareness.
I think we all know 4 women. I think we all know 9 men. So the reality is, we all know someone.
Matt Siz's 1 in 4 was his wife's niece, Carissa Peranto. Carissa was killed last October in Ashwaubenon after trying to leave a violent relationship.
She did everything she could. She changed her locks. She put in security cameras, purchased a firearm, staying with family and friends.
But the outcome was still tragic. It spurred Matt to take action. Third Space's 1 in 4 IPA is the brewery's latest offering in its Pints for a Purpose program. Matt says they intentionally went for shock value with the name.
That is just like such a staggering statistic. Like it stops people in their tracks and gets them thinking.
The brewery is partnering with Sojourner Family Peace Center. A rollout event was held Friday evening. The beer's great right out of the tap here at the Third Space tap room, but you don't have to be here to make a difference. 1 in 4 will be carried in dozens of stores all throughout the area, and all the proceeds from the beer will go straight to Sojourner.
It happens behind closed doors, and people are afraid to say something.
Naomi Gould wants people to feel safe coming forward. So far this year, there have been more than a dozen domestic homicides in the city of Milwaukee, and Gould says it impacts everyone.
We know that violence is a learned behavior, and when children grow up in violent homes, most likely they grow up being violent as well in their relationships.
Sojourner has an emergency hotline, a shelter for survivors, and provides healing services for survivors post-trauma. One survivor told Gould how educating children helped her.
Her daughter actually in school learned about what a healthy relationship is, came home from school and said, "Mom, I don't think you're in a healthy relationship."
Third Space is encouraging people to donate on Sojourner's website, where there's a space to mention the 1 in 4 beer. Here in Madison, bereaved parents and supporters were invited to come together Saturday to raise awareness about pregnancy and infant loss at the 2nd annual Empty Stroller Awareness Walk. It was held at the State Street Capitol steps, with supporters walking around the Capitol. Attendees were encouraged to walk with an empty stroller as a powerful image of the emptiness families are left with after a baby dies. Strollers were available for free for those who needed one, and some parents also chose to put their baby's memorial bears, photos, or other special items in their strollers as a way to honor their baby's memory.
We carry empty strollers around, and we hold their memories with us forever. They don't just go away once that child passes away.
A candlelight vigil was held following the walk. In this morning's health conversation, our Shane Hogan sat down with Dr. Rupa Shah to talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Here's what she had to say about signs that you should look out for and when you should visit the doctor.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. SSM Health family medicine physician and wellness coach Dr. Rupa Shah is here today with reminders on what symptoms women should watch for, the current treatment options for breast cancer, and what women should know about breast cancer screening. So we're going to start with just the common signs that women should be looking for when it comes to breast cancer.
Yeah, so I always tell my patients, anytime you find any change in your breast, typically we think of if you find a new lump or a new mass in your breast, but really, even if you see any skin changes, any new rashes, thickening of the skin, dimpling of the skin, nipple discharge, redness, flakiness, pulling in around the nipple, any of those signs, really you want to get in right away and talk to your doctor and get an exam.
So it can be, you know, more than just the common terminology when we hear a lump or something like that. It can be a lot of different things. A lot
of different changes, yeah.
So can breast cancer be cured, and what does that treatment entail?
Yeah, there, you know, the good news is there are a lot of different treatments, and it is highly curable in the early stages, and so that's why early detection is so important. Right. There's a number of treatments, and it really depends on the type of breast cancer you get diagnosed with. It could range from radiation to chemotherapy to hormonal treatment, but the outcomes have been really good for a lot of women in the early stages.
Well, that's really positive news. Now, what should women know when they go get screened for breast cancer?
Yeah, so the main thing is that as you approach the age of 40, you should start talking to your physician about when is the best time to start your screening. The American Cancer Society recommends starting at age 45 and doing it annually, and then every 2 years after the age of 55. But that can be really different for folks that have a family history of breast cancer, have had previous breast biopsies. So you really need to tailor that screening with your physician and talk about what the best, you know, screening recommendations are for your individual case.
Yeah, got to keep it, you know, kind of think about your body, your family's history. That's all such really good information. Well, thank you, Dr. Shaw, as always. Now, where else can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shaw.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Still ahead, find out if you're one of the 9 million Americans that could be missing out on COVID-related tax benefits. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Greg's tracking your forecast just ahead on Weekend Mornings.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. Yeah! And that's why they all start dancing. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota Trucks.
Right now, get 2.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600,000 of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I was born here, I'm from here, and I'm never leaving here. I'm a New York hotel. Yeah, I'm tall, 563 feet and 2 inches. I'm on top of the world. I'm looking for someone who likes to be in the middle of it all, but also likes some peace and quiet. You hungry? I know a place, and a few others nearby. It's the city that never sleeps. But hey, if you need the rest, I've got you covered.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house,
everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. Yeah! And that's why they all start dancing. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, overall, the pattern continues. We have another shot of cold air. You can see this indicates what we got, the northerly winds, colder air up here, more warm air so to the west, and we're kind of stuck in this. So today we definitely have a plunge of cold air heading from northern Canada all the way down here, and that'll be enforced even tomorrow. So actually that's why we'll see colder conditions tomorrow. But notice the wind flow still in the northwest. That doesn't really change. It takes a while for this low to actually push further north and us to get that ridge out to the west, the high pressure and hot, warmer temperatures to get in here. By Wednesday and Thursday and then Friday, we start to see some of that as the cold air starts pushing further north. So we will modify, but it's going to take a few days, at least to the midweek, to start seeing some conditions change. Overall today, cloud cover, a few showers behind the front with the northwest winds will be the story. Tonight, we'll see less clouds, but then tomorrow we're going to see another wave push south with a better shot of actual snow showers reaching further down in central, even southern Wisconsin. But you'll notice the winds tomorrow even further stronger out of the north than they were even today. So that's something we're going to keep an eye. Then as we go into Monday into Tuesday, we'll start seeing some of this wane, some of the cloud cover, but the winds will still be there at least through Tuesday out of the north. So our temperatures won't change much until we get past Wednesday. For today, upper 40s with a few showers left and right here. We're going to see northwest winds continue. That'll be the story until we get to the evening hours. A few less clouds overnight as temperatures will fall off to the 20s into the low 30s, but the winds will still remain tonight, so they won't decrease as much as we saw. Tomorrow, more of the story will be the winds out of the north. That's when the temperatures will actually struggle to get to 40. In many areas, we'll struggle to get just above freezing further north. But then we'll see a few showers come up to central Wisconsin. Eastern Wisconsin shows the best shot for that, too. Winds today, big story. We're going to see the winds strong, but even stronger tomorrow. As you notice, as we get to Monday, we're seeing 35 to 40 gusts potentially up here with that strong wind. So it definitely will be something to watch out for tomorrow. They're not going to improve much as we go through Tuesday, but they will decrease a little bit. So as you see, the temperatures, once we get past this cold day on Monday, we should start modifying the temperatures and getting back up to the mid-40s. No precipitation, still dry, and then we start to warm back up to near 70 with the system coming. So that's good news for next weekend. Same story with Madison, too. Struggling with a 40-degree for Monday, and then we climb back up to maybe 50 by Thursday, and then things will do change. We get up to the mid-60s, and with rain maybe towards the end of next weekend, but still. We got to get past the next 2 days, and then things will definitely improve.
I'll take rain as long as the temperatures go up at least a little bit.
They will go back up. It's still October, everyone. I mean, like you said, it's not Halloween yet, but Monday will feel like
I don't know.
Like
These temperatures are a little spooky, Greg.
Well, Monday will definitely feel like it's like Thanksgiving around here.
Great. All right, get the turkey ready.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Greg. The IRS is reaching out to more than 9 million Americans who could be missing out on COVID-related tax benefits. Many may not be aware they can claim the 2021 Recovery Rebate Credit, the Child Tax Credit, and the Earned Income Tax Credit, among several other benefits. Eligible taxpayers could receive 5-figure payments, including stimulus money if they qualify. The IRS is focusing on families and individuals who have yet to file a tax return for 2021, with millions of low-income Americans in particular not appearing to be taking advantage of temporary tax provisions that Congress approved during the pandemic. Starting this week, letters will be going out to remind taxpayers that they need to take action before the November 17th deadline. In more national news, former President Trump still hasn't said whether he'll answer questions from the January 6th committee. The committee voted Thursday to subpoena Trump, calling on him to testify and provide documents.
The resolution is agreed to.
The vote was the finale of the January 6th committee's televised hearing Thursday. The committee members unanimously agreed to subpoena former President Donald Trump.
We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion.
On Friday, Trump responded with a blistering 14-page letter. He railed about his, quote, anger and disappointment with what he said, quote, many consider to be a charade and witch hunt. He repeated false claims of election fraud, but did not answer the key question, whether he will fight the subpoena or agree to testify about his actions on January 6th.
They're breaking windows and going in.
The committee shared new video taken on January 6th showing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer pleading for help to secure the Capitol and saying the president had instigated the rioters.
Yeah, why don't you get the president to tell them to leave the Capitol, Mr. Attorney General, in your law enforcement responsibility?
Pelosi and Schumer were also seen speaking to then Vice President Mike Pence, working together to return to the Capitol to certify the presidential election results.
The House and the Senate will be able to reconvene in roughly an hour.
Pence's aides have cooperated with the committee, but he hasn't been subpoenaed or asked to testify. The committee has until January 2023 to complete their work because they're only authorized through the current Congress.
To avoid testifying, former President Trump could attempt to delay until January. Still ahead, when the dancers of the Kyiv City Ballet went on tour 8 months ago, they had no idea they'd end up stranded. How they're keeping their culture alive amidst the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Coming up next on Weekend Mornings.
At Denver Mattress, we believe improving your sleep life should be easy and affordable. And during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Research shows that people remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Look what I brought!
Liberty Mutual! They customize your home insurance!
So you only pay for what you need. Young people having a good time with insurance. Young people, good times, insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoo!
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
At Denver Mattress, we believe improving your sleep life should be easy and affordable. And during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Once you start, you just can't stop.
On UW Homecoming Week, Mark Kane introduces you to a Wisconsin alum with a unique collection that chronicles decades of Badger history. Right on the button. Monday on News 3 Now at 10. As political ads bombard you with campaign promises and claims to capture your vote, News 3 Now gives you a reality check, clarifying the candidates' messages and finding the facts to help you make informed choices. Reality Check, Wednesdays on News 3 Now at 6.
Finally this morning, when dancers of the Kyiv City Ballet went on tour 8 months ago, they had no idea they'd end up stranded abroad amidst the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, Adriana Diaz shares how dancers are determined to save their culture through ballet.
Under the rumble of the L train at Chicago's Auditorium Theater, these dancers have more than choreography on their minds.
All my family are in Kyiv now. My mother, father, sister.
I imagine you've been worried about them.
Yes, I've been very scared.
Sasha Morose and Marina Apanasenko, both 19, dance with the Kyiv City Ballet. Most of their families are still in Ukraine.
I'm lucky to hear the voice of my mother, to see them only by phone, but I hope everything will be okay.
The dance company left Ukraine in February to perform in Paris. Company director Ivan Kozlov says they were only supposed to be gone 3 weeks before this happened.
We woke up and realized that our country is under attack.
Literally the day after you left
Yes.
Kyiv.
To keep them safe, Paris granted the dancers a long-term residency, and they're still traveling on their first ever U.S. tour.
It is a difficult period for all of Ukrainians, but when you understand the main aim to represent your country, and you become more strong.
You feel stronger
I
in your dance.
I feel stronger when I dance, to show the world our light, our energy.
You were able to get out of the country just in time, but is there any guilt that you might feel, or you know your dancers feel, not being home fighting at this time?
It's not a guilt. We feel sorry that we cannot be in the two places at the same time, you know. We are doing our best from the field of war, from the stages, you know. We represent our country. We're trying to show how brave we are, how strong we are.
Their U.S. tour features the classic Swan Lake and a new work choreographed after the war started called Tribute to Peace.
It's our place to fight, because our task is to save Ukrainian culture, because culture is the country, and Ukraine has a great history, and our task is to save it.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News.
So I just learned a fun fact, Greg, that you tap danced.
Yeah, Betty Hayes. School of Dance, you know, in Boca. So yeah, I did that a long time ago. We're talking like when I was in a kindergarten to probably early teens.
Oh,
the most.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was. But,
all right, so you can tap dance and you can tell us the weather. You can do it all.
I wish. I can tell you the weather. I wish I could actually, you know, as we say, be in the production of weather so we can tell you what we want to see. Fortunately, we have some showers behind it that are going to be, look at this story. We're going to see more of that pop up this afternoon. But just spotty here and there, but not a big deal. The bigger deal will be the winds. Right now we're starting off not too bad compared to yesterday, but we're not going to climb much above what we were yesterday. You can see the temperatures right there, kind of skip through it. But as we go through, it's kind of stuck now. There you go. But anyway, wind's going to be the story for La Crosse, too. Both areas 10 to 15, even 20, with temperatures just basically getting into the mid to upper 40s.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll have more news for you at 5:30.